I was in Australia on the Sunshine Coast.
I was in Virginia, teaching at a high school there.
Okay, I was actually in Burma at a dinner party in a hotel, and it was because it was evening there.
Yeah.
It was a farewell dinner party for the Russian ambassador.
I was here, sitting in this office.
Woke up in the morning and just saw it was on TV, or the news.
One of the other teachers said to me, I was walking down the hallway and he said, "Did you hear about the bombing?" And at first I thought he was joking or something. And then he said, "No, it's on television." And we went into the teacher's room and there was a television that had, you know, what was happening. That was just after the first tower was hit. And then we started watching the news.
And one of the guests was the US Chargé d'Affaires. And halfway through the dinner, she got a phone call phone call from the US Embassy, and she came back looking completely white, and she asked the hotel staff to bring a television in. So that's when we saw the planes fly into the towers, and then obviously as we kept on with the dinner party, although it was a bit, the atmosphere of course was...
Okay, so there was an assistant principal in the middle school called Mrs. McMahon, and she came running into this office and told me to put CNN on, and we sat and watched it together.
I didn't think it was real, to tell you the truth. It was like a blockbuster Hollywood movie.
I think it was mainly just shock, complete shock that, you know, I remember looking at it on television and thinking, this can't be real. This is like, you know, some kind of a, you know, movie or something. It's not like it's real.
The complete shock at the fact, not just that it happened, but the buildings collapsed. And I remember seeing, you know, the people running on TV and of course the people jumping out of the building.
I thought we were watching a film.
No.
I did not, but since even though I was living in Virginia at that time, where I grew up, all of my childhood and growing up years was about 70 miles from New York in Connecticut. So even though I didn't know anyone who was directly involved, it felt very personal.
Yes, we had some students from here, some former students who were on their way to the World Trade Center, and they were stopped. They were in New Jersey, and they were coming over on the ferry, and the driver or the boatman realized it was something serious and turned them back.
Yeah, it's made me more wary, but it hasn't really stopped me travelling at all.
Yeah, I think it was emotionally very, very difficult because I think Americans in general, it was something that we'd never experienced before. So it was a big shock to most Americans to think that somebody would do something like that.
I remember also going to the bar at that club which was on our compound and seeing that the very first person who came out and condemned it was Yasser Arafat. And I just remember thinking at the time that it's going to have a very, very bad knock-on effect on the Palestinian cause, about which I feel very passionately.
I think with all terrorism it makes you more careful, and I think at the time it certainly brought a lot of people closer to the United States and reminded people the debt that probably people owed to the United States, and I think that brought it into focus.
Probably just awareness of different cultures and how people see the world differently, and yeah.
I think maybe it started more and more people realizing that there are people in the world who feel that they have not been treated well for various reasons, and that maybe we have to think more about how our actions might affect others and not just live our lives like we're the only people that matter.
Detrimental effect, I think, on relations with countries in the Middle East, and the complete failure to resolve the issue of Israel-Palestine.
Probably very little, I would say. I think it was a huge shock at the time, and people who are aware of terrorism continue to be aware of it. I think it also created a lot of distrust amongst some nationalities, and the damage, I think, has been huge.